7 types of people toxic to avoid in old age, even close relatives. As we grow older, life should be about embracing peace, celebrating the relationships that enrich our lives, and letting go of negativity. However, toxic individuals can disrupt this harmony, draining our energy and even affecting our well being. Recognizing and avoiding these people is crucial, especially in old age, when your emotional and physical health should be a top priority. Even close relatives or longtime friends can be toxic. Here are 7 types of people toxic to avoid in old age and practical advice for protecting yourself. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. 1. Envious relatives. Envy is a subtle yet corrosive force, and when it arises within your own family, it can be particularly painful. As we age, we often reflect on the relationships we hold dear, expecting them to bring us comfort and connection. However, not all family bonds are nurturing. Some relatives harbor envy toward your achievements, lifestyle, or even your happiness, and this envy can manifest in ways that disrupt your peace. An envious relative might not express their feelings outright. Instead, their envy appears in small, sharp remarks, an unwillingness to celebrate your successes, or even attempts to downplay the value of what you've worked hard to achieve. It might come in the form of comparing their lives to yours, or subtly implying that you don't deserve the things you have. This dynamic is often shrouded in passive aggression, leaving you confused and hurt. For seniors, this kind of toxicity can be particularly harmful. At this stage of life, your emotional energy is precious, and your time should be spent nurturing joy, not defending yourself against thinly veiled criticism or dismissiveness. Envious relatives, no matter how close they may be, have the potential to create a cloud of negativity that lingers long after a family gathering or phone call. So, how do you deal with this? It's natural to feel obligated to maintain relationships with family, but it's important to prioritize your well-being. Start by observing their behavior without judgment. Are their comments leaving you feeling deflated? Do their interactions seem more about competition than connection? Recognizing the patterns is the first step to protecting yourself. One effective strategy is to gently steer conversations away from topics that might trigger their envy. For example, if they seem to struggle with your financial stability or lifestyle choices, focus on neutral subjects, shared memories, hobbies, or interests that don't invite comparison. If they continue to project negativity, it's okay to limit how much you share about your personal life. Your successes and joys don't need to be a source of contention. Boundaries are essential here. You can remain polite and loving while also protecting your emotional space. It might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you've always been open and giving in the relationship. But setting boundaries isn't about shutting people out. It's about preserving your peace and ensuring that interactions remain respectful and healthy. In some cases, it's worth addressing the issue directly but tactfully. You might say something like, "I've noticed that our conversations sometimes leave me feeling uneasy. I want us to have a relationship that's supportive and uplifting. How can we work on that together?" This opens the door to mutual understanding, though it may not always lead to the resolution you hope for. Remember, envy is often a reflection of the other person's internal struggles rather than anything you've done. They might be grappling with feelings of inadequacy, regret, or frustration about their own circumstances. While it's not your responsibility to fix these feelings, understanding their root can help you approach the situation with compassion rather than resentment. Ultimately, your later years are meant to be a time of peace and fulfillment. If an envious relative consistently disrupts your emotional well-being, it's okay to limit your interactions. Distance doesn't mean abandoning the relationship. It simply means prioritizing your own happiness and health. Surround yourself with family and friends who uplift and celebrate you. These are the relationships that will enrich your golden years and leave you feeling valued and loved. Let go of the guilt that often comes with stepping back from a toxic dynamic. You've earned the right to live your life free from the burdens of envy and negativity. By protecting yourself from envious relatives, you create space for the joy, peace, and harmony that should define this beautiful chapter of life. 2. Opportunists. Opportunists are those who see your kindness, resources, or generosity not as qualities to respect, but as tools to exploit. These individuals are often subtle in their approach, disguising their intentions behind charm, flattery, or appeals to your sense of obligation. In old age, when you may feel more inclined to help others or maintain harmonious relationships, opportunists can take advantage of your vulnerability. The danger of opportunists lies in their ability to make their requests seem reasonable or even urgent. They might approach you with stories of financial struggles, personal emergencies, or dreams they claim can only be realized with your help. While helping others is a noble act, opportunists rarely offer gratitude or reciprocation. Instead, they keep taking, leaving you drained, emotionally, financially, or both. What makes their behavior particularly toxic is the lack of genuine connection. An opportunist does not value you for who you are, but for what you can provide. This can lead to feelings of betrayal or hurt when you realize their interactions are transactional rather than heartfelt. For seniors, this realization can be especially painful as it clashes with the desire for meaningful and sincere relationships during this stage of life. To protect yourself, the first step is recognizing patterns in their behavior. Do they only reach out when they need something? Do their requests leave you feeling obligated or pressured? Are they quick to disappear once their needs are met? If these patterns emerge, it's time to reassess the relationship. Setting boundaries is crucial. Learn to say no firmly but kindly. For example, you might say, "I understand you're in a difficult situation, but I'm not in a position to help right now." Saying no doesn't make you selfish, it's a necessary act of self preservation. Opportunists thrive on guilt, so be mindful not to let their disappointment sway your decision. It's also helpful to focus on relationships that are reciprocal and nurturing by investing your time and energy in people who value you for who you are, not what you can offer. You create a circle of support that enriches your life. Remember, your resources, be it time, money, or emotional energy, are yours to allocate. Choosing to protect them is an act of wisdom and self respect. 3. Financial drainers. Financial drainers are those who turn to you repeatedly for monetary help, often presenting their requests as urgent or unavoidable, unlike opportunists, who may take advantage of various aspects of your generosity. Financial drainers focus squarely on your finances. This type of relationship can be particularly harmful in old age, as it threatens not only your emotional well-being but also your financial security. These individuals often use emotional manipulation to secure your assistance. They might appeal to your sense of duty, guilt, or compassion. Some financial drainers may promise to repay you as soon as possible, but fail to follow through. Others might attempt to justify their behavior by claiming they have no one else to turn to. While their stories might be compelling, their repeated demands can slowly erode your sense of control over your own finances. The effects of financial drainers extend beyond the financial realm. They create stress, anxiety, and sometimes even resentment. As you try to manage your budget and plan for the future, their constant requests can disrupt your peace of mind and force you to make sacrifices you shouldn't have to make. This is especially damaging in retirement when you should be focusing on enjoying the resources you've worked hard to build. To address this, it's essential to establish firm boundaries. Make it clear that your financial resources are dedicated to your needs and long-term security. You can express empathy without giving in to every request. For instance, you might say, I understand your situation, but I need to prioritize my own financial stability. In some cases, professional advice can help. Consulting a financial advisor can give you the confidence to set boundaries and manage your finances more effectively. It can also provide a neutral perspective, making it easier to navigate difficult conversations with financial drainers. Above all, remind yourself that saying no is not a betrayal of kindness. Helping others should never come at the expense of your own well-being. By protecting your finances, you safeguard your independence and ensure that you can continue to live with dignity and peace. Choose to surround yourself with individuals who respect your boundaries and value you for more than your resources. Financial stability is not just a practical necessity. It's a foundation for enjoying the golden years of your life without unnecessary stress. 4. Gossiping neighbors. Living in a community should bring comfort, camaraderie, and a sense of belonging. However, gossiping neighbors can turn that sense of sanctuary into a source of stress. These individuals thrive on sharing private details, whether true, exaggerated, or outright false, about others. They pry into your personal life, not out of genuine concern or curiosity, but to fuel their need for drama and control. For seniors, who may spend more time at home or within their neighborhood, gossiping neighbors can create an environment filled with mistrust and discomfort. A simple visit to the mailbox or a casual chat over the fence can leave you feeling exposed or uneasy. Over time, their behavior can erode the sense of peace that home is meant to provide. What makes gossiping neighbors particularly toxic is their ability to spread misinformation, potentially damaging reputations or relationships. They might twist innocent remarks into harmful narratives, leaving you to deal with misunderstandings or conflicts that you never intended to create. Addressing this issue requires tact. The best approach is often one of non-engagement. Keep conversations light, focused on neutral topics like weather or community events, and avoid sharing personal details that could become fodder for gossip. If they press for information, politely redirect the conversation or excuse yourself. If the gossip persists and begins to impact your well-being, consider speaking directly to the neighbor. Choose your words carefully, expressing your discomfort without accusing them outright. For example, I value our conversations, but I prefer to focus on positive and uplifting topics. Let's make our chats a space for encouragement. Remember, you are not obligated to tolerate behavior that disrupts your peace. It's okay to maintain a polite distance from individuals who cannot respect your boundaries. Your home and community should be a place where you feel safe and respected, free from the weight of unnecessary drama. 5. Scammers. Scammers are perhaps one of the most dangerous types of toxic individuals to avoid in old age. Unlike gossiping neighbors whose harm is often emotional or social, scammers directly threaten your financial stability and personal security. These predators are cunning, using sophisticated tactics to exploit trust and vulnerability. Scammers often target seniors because they perceive them as more trusting or less familiar with modern technology. Their methods range from phone calls pretending to be government officials or family members in distress to phishing emails designed to steal sensitive information. Some even approach in person, posing as repairmen, charity workers, or financial advisors. The impact of a scam can be devastating, not just financially, but emotionally. The betrayal of trust and the stress of resolving the situation can take a toll on your mental health, leaving you feeling violated and insecure. To protect yourself, vigilance is key. Be cautious with unsolicited phone calls, emails, or visitors. Never share personal or financial information unless you are absolutely certain of the recipient's legitimacy. A good rule of thumb is to take your time. Scammers often rely on creating a sense of urgency to pressure you into making hasty decisions. If you suspect a scam, consult a trusted friend, family member, or professional before taking any action. Organizations like AARP or local senior centers often offer resources and education to help you recognize and avoid scams. Reporting suspicious activity to authorities not only protects you, but also helps safeguard others in your community. Most importantly, don't let the experience of encountering a scammer erode your trust in humanity. While caution is necessary, many people and organizations genuinely want to support and uplift you. By staying informed and maintaining a healthy skepticism, you can protect yourself while still enjoying the positive connections that enrich your life. In old age, your resources, financial, emotional, and social, are precious. Scammers seek to exploit those resources for their gain, but with awareness and preparation, you can safeguard what is yours. Trust yourself, educate yourself, and never hesitate to seek help when something feels off. Your safety and security are far more valuable than any false promise a scammer might offer. 6. Exploitative friends who pull you down. Friendships are supposed to be a source of joy, support, and understanding. However, not all friendships are built on mutual respect. Exploitative friends are those who see your relationship as an opportunity to fulfill their needs while neglecting yours. Worse, they may actively undermine your confidence and happiness, leaving you feeling depleted after every interaction. These individuals often mask their negativity under the guise of concern or advice. They may dismiss your achievements, belittle your choices, or subtly compare your life to theirs in a way that makes you feel less than. For seniors, this behavior can be especially harmful, as it comes at a time when self-reflection and self-worth are crucial to your emotional well-being. Exploitative friends may also take advantage of your generosity, constantly seeking your time, resources, or emotional support without offering the same in return. They might lean on you for their own needs while ignoring your struggles or downplaying your successes. Over time, their presence can erode your self-esteem and make you question your value in the relationship. Dealing with these toxic friends requires courage and self-awareness. Begin by assessing how their behavior impacts you. Do you leave conversations feeling drained or demoralized? Are they quick to criticize but slow to support? Recognizing these patterns is the first step to reclaiming your emotional space. Once you've identified the issue, it's important to set boundaries. This might mean limiting the time you spend with them or steering conversations away from topics that trigger their negativity. You don't need to cut ties abruptly, but you should prioritize relationships that uplift and encourage you. In some cases, addressing the behavior directly can lead to resolution. Express your feelings honestly but kindly. Saying something like, "I've noticed our conversations often leave me feeling down. I value our friendship and want it to be a source of support for both of us. However, be prepared for the possibility that they may not change." You deserve friendships that bring you joy and nurture your spirit. Letting go of toxic relationships is not an act of selfishness. It's a commitment to your own well-being. Surround yourself with people who celebrate your life, not those who pull you down. At this stage of life, every moment is precious, and the company you keep should reflect the peace and happiness you've earned. 7. Energy vampires. In the precious years of later life, your emotional energy is a sacred resource, one that should be spent on activities and relationships that nourish your soul. Yet, there are people who seem to thrive on draining that energy, leaving you feeling emotionally depleted after every interaction. These are the energy vampires, individuals who, whether intentionally or not, sap your mental and emotional reserves to fuel their endless need for attention, drama, or validation. Energy vampires don't always appear harmful at first glance. They may present themselves as deeply needy, perpetually in crisis, or simply always there in ways that feel overwhelming. Their demands often come cloaked in the guise of friendship or concern, but their interactions revolve around their problems, their emotions, and their need for support, leaving little room for mutual connection or genuine care for your well being. For seniors, energy vampires can be particularly harmful. They might call you at all hours to unload their troubles, monopolize your time during social gatherings, or expect you to drop everything to tend to their needs. These interactions are rarely reciprocal. While you give your time, compassion, and energy, they offer little in return but a persistent sense of fatigue and frustration. The emotional toll of energy vampires goes beyond mere annoyance. They rob you of the peace you've worked so hard to cultivate in your golden years. Instead of focusing on what brings you joy, be it a morning walk, a cherished hobby, or on meaningful conversations with loved ones, you find yourself entangled in their dramas and conflicts. This relentless cycle can lead to stress, anxiety, and even resentment, chipping away at your happiness. Protecting yourself from energy vampires requires both self-awareness and determination. The first step is recognizing their impact. Pay attention to how you feel after spending time with certain individuals. Do you leave conversations feeling lighter, or do you feel drained, overwhelmed, or even agitated? If the latter is true, you may be dealing with an energy vampire. Once you've identified the issue, it's essential to establish boundaries. This doesn't mean cutting someone off entirely, though in some cases that might be necessary, but rather reclaiming your time and energy. Politely but firmly, limit how much time you spend with them or how deeply you engage in their problems. For instance, you can redirect conversations by saying, "I understand you're going through a lot, but I need to focus on my own well-being right now." Sometimes energy vampires rely on guilt to keep you in their orbit. They may accuse you of being unsupportive or unkind when you set boundaries. In these moments, remember that self-care is not selfish. It's an essential part of living a healthy and fulfilling life. By prioritizing your needs, you not only protect your peace, but also model healthy boundaries for others. In situations where the relationship cannot be salvaged without significant strain, it's okay to distance yourself entirely. This doesn't mean you harbor ill will. It simply means you're choosing to focus on relationships that uplift and energize you. Surround yourself with people who respect your time and value the joy and wisdom you bring to their lives. Your emotional energy is finite and precious. It fuels your passions, deepens your connections, and sustains your sense of purpose. By safeguarding it from those who drain it, you create space for relationships and experiences that truly enrich your life. In these golden years, every moment matters. Let your energy be spent on what brings you peace, not on those who leave you feeling empty. Conclusion: protecting your peace in life's golden years. The later years of life are a time to embrace tranquility, celebrate your journey, and focus on the relationships and experiences that uplift your spirit. However, toxic individuals, whether friends, relatives, or acquaintances, can disrupt this harmony, draining your energy and pulling you away from the joy you deserve. Recognizing and distancing yourself from these influences is not just an act of self-preservation. It's a commitment to honoring the life you've built. Letting go of toxic relationships can be challenging, especially when feelings of guilt, obligation, or history are involved. But remember, your well-being must come first. You have spent decades contributing to the world around you, supporting others, and navigating life's challenges. Now is the time to prioritize yourself, to claim the peace and happiness you've earned through a life well lived. Protecting your peace doesn't mean shutting others out. It means making thoughtful choices about who you allow into your emotional and mental space. Surround yourself with people who celebrate your presence, nurture your growth, and respect your boundaries. These relationships will not only enrich your life, but also remind you of the beauty in authentic connections. As you reflect on your relationships, trust your instincts. If someone consistently leaves you feeling drained, diminished, or disrespected, it's a sign that the relationship may not serve you anymore. By choosing to distance yourself, you're not being selfish. You're safeguarding your joy, your health, and your future. Ultimately, life's golden years should be filled with moments of serenity and fulfillment. It's a time to cherish meaningful connections, explore passions, and find contentment in the small, simple joys of everyday life. By letting go of toxic individuals and embracing positivity, you create the foundation for a life of peace and purpose. You've earned this chapter of freedom, happiness, and self-respect. Protect it fiercely. And never forget, your well-being is not just important. It's everything. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.